gentlemen, Ben Dixon here with MLM Monday, episode 205. Today we're going to be talking about the one thing you'd tell yourself today if you could go back in time. So, what are we talking about? Well, this uh, Friday, I'll be the moderator for the Direct Selling Executives Forum Open Forum. We have executives from Norwex. They had 13,000 plus people at their event just this last week. Incredible. Shackley doing amazing stuff, happened for decades. And In Cruises are going to be on the line. So we'll have Hutch, the founder of In Cruises, Kevin Crandall, who's head of sales at Shackley. We'll have Dave Fleming, who used to run LifeVantage, today's chief sales officer over at Norwex, all sharing about their ideas for building relationships that last with top field talent. But that's not what we're talking about today. I'll put the registration information for that event below. About today, we're going to talk about the question that I ask at the end. There's a question I ask at the end as moderator from the Direct Selling Open Forum that says, "Hey, knowing what you know today, if you could go back to December 2019, right? What would you tell yourself? Like, if you could go back in time and share one thing with yourself 2 years ago, what would you say?" Okay, and in direct sales and network marketing, we got to look at where the world's moving, what's going on, and what could you tell yourself 2 years ago that would have made all the difference inside of the world. If you want to hear their answers to that question, you definitely want to come to the open forum this week. But I could share with you some of the ones that other people have shared. Okay, so we jokingly said one of the jokes we hear often is something like an investment, like buy Bitcoin or something like that. Of what who would have thought, what's happened in the last few years, what's happened in some of these other industries. But other people have shared stuff like, hey, don't do that deal, right? Those BDA deals where they're, you as an executive are paying leaders some sort of a bridge sum of money to bring them into your organization to grow. We hear that often, like, hey, don't pay people to join your organization. Just actually go sell people on joining your organization because they want to be here because of your causes and why you exist and your purposes and systems and products and services and executive team, not just because you're paying them. So you hear that one often. What other pieces do we hear? Well, hey, work on the customer experience, create something that customers enjoy regardless of the opportunity. We hear that often. Set a space. It's good feedback. If you're not focused on an opportunity or on setting up a customer experience where people would become customers regardless of the opportunity to experience your product, you got to look at that dearly and nearly. Say, what do I need to do to update that? How do I need to speak to my customer experience differently? These are questions and more you're going to hear. It's only when you surround yourself with other executives that are taking action daily and running their organizations that you'll be able to make a difference, even in your own decision making. One of the traps people fall into in direct sales is they get so deep and ingrained in their own culture of their own direct selling company as an executive. Right? I'm not talking about field leaders. It's great for field leaders to be entrenched in your culture, but that they don't see the larger market forces swirling around them. Some of the other things we hear when we ask that question is that they would have trained better their onboarding, that they would have walked people through how to use social media properly so they didn't burn their audience and their friends, or would have created systems that had more accountability, that felt like a leader sitting next to someone suggesting what they do next. We hear that too. And so these are things that people say, I wish I would have. And I ask you, what are you doing today about it? So as you're already, here we are, it's August 16th, 2021. Now is the time to already be prepping and preparing all that you're going to do in 2022 or halfway through 2021. The organizations that make dynamic, real change next year are already thinking about that now. They're in the present, making this year finish strong, and then they're in the future, understanding what they need to start now that's going to really make a difference. So a great first step for you, if you're thinking those thoughts and thinking about strategy and how to plug in, would be to attend this week's DSEF conference. Direct Selling Executives Forum is a fantastic place to start that conversation. It's free and you'll be able to plug into that information. I'll put a link here on Facebook below in the chat on where you can join the DSEF for free as an executive in the space here on the Facebook group. And the event information for Norwex, Shackley, and InCruises this Friday is in that group as well. I want to thank you for checking out Emblem Monday today. Wishing you all the best. Bye for now.